I heard it, and then finally I said, fine. I'll do it, fine. You want me to do this? I'll do it. Called the San Diego Domestic Violence Council, told them my story. I was like, I know this is awkward. You're probably not used to hearing from somebody like me, but I don't know what I'm doing, but here's my story. And they said, okay, all right, hold on. They said, oh, let me tell such and such. They told such and such. They said, you know what? I think we got a couple people that want to hear your story. Oh, damn, okay, come down here on Thursday. Oh, okay, cool. Went down there on Thursday, expecting it to be a room like this, few people in there. I walk in that room to share this stuff for the first time. There's 350 people in there. 300. Chief of police was there. Chief of probation was there. City councilman was there. They had some type of award ceremony before, and they just stayed. I was like, oh, hell no.
My broski Dom, my mentor. What up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Welcome to the Telescope Room, bro.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate being here.
Well, as you know, the whole show is about growth and overcoming some type of despair where you became victorious and peaceful in life, right? Mm-hmm. So you taught me a lot. You know, we go back a long time.
Right.
We've been through some things.
Right.
And, we'll get to that.
Okay.
But right now I want you to tell the audience, who is Dom?
So my name is Dom Waltower. I'm a violence prevention advocate.
Okay.
And how I became a violence prevention advocate is somewhat of a story. And
that's what we want.
Yeah.
The story.
You want the story.
I want the story of where you were up here back then, what happened to spark you, what happened to elevate you and put you where you're at right now.
Okay, all right.
Because I got some stories to share about you,
okay.
but we'll get to that.
Okay, all right. So I grew up in a home where there was a lot of chaos, and abuse.
Okay.
And so in my home, my mom was very abusive towards my dad.
Okay.
My stepdad, should I say. So I grew up watching that dynamic.
Okay.
And without knowing it, that program was instilled in me.
Right.
So when I became of age, when I started in my first relationship, I started doing the same things.
You became abusive.
I became abusive. I became verbally, mentally, emotionally abusive. The same way I learned as a kid.
Yeah.
And so I started in relationships with that, thinking that was normal.
The traditional thinking.
The traditional. So tradition can be good things
or bad
things.
Yeah.
You know, I always say with tradition, you got to check which ones you bring. Like they have to be checked at the door, like security. I need to know who are you, what is this, is it relevant? So I was carrying that tradition on, thinking that was normal. Right. Now I partnered with women who also had the same ideology, the same thought process.
Okay.
So it
was a ping pong of poison.
Ping pong of poison. It was a perfect storm. It was a perfect environment for disaster.
Chaos. Okay.
And when that happened, this person didn't see it as, oh my gosh, this is a deal breaker. They just said, oh, well, this is I grew up like this.
Normal.
It's normal.
This is like home.
This is home. And so we're creating that. And so
anything else would be an unfamiliar environment.
Oh, peace? No.
No.
The ironic part
what do you mean peace?
Peace, I mean harmony, I mean health. Being in a healthy circumstance.
So either one of you would have been like, what is this?
No, I don't
this
know
is
that.
like, this is not part of the get down.
No. The irony in that is the two relationships I'm thinking about. Before I met both the first person I met, there was someone else that I met. And then I was deciding who I wanted to be with.
Okay.
One was healthy, one was not.
Oh.
Guess who I picked?
The unhealthy one.
I picked the unhealthy one.
Right.
Now, the program of unhealthy came from my first love. My mother.
Your mom.
My mom was the first woman that I loved.
Yeah.
And so my mom, now when I speak about my mom, I love my mom. I'm just giving you context. She's since passed on. I love her. We had a good relationship before she passed. But she showed me the first image of a woman.
Right.
And my mom was very flawed. My mom had a lot of issues. She had drug issues. She had alcohol issues. She had a lot of trauma in her life
Before
I got there.
that.
Before that. And so by the time I come around, the trauma is in full play.
You know, one of the things that I say, I said it, I think it went in the last segment, is that a lot of the emotions that are significant when we're growing up were left unattended by the people that had the responsibility to attend to them.
Yes.
But the reason for that is because their emotions were unattended too.
Yeah. You can go back further.
Further.
You can keep going back.
And it's unattended.
And so that's why I can't blame my mother.
Right.
I don't blame her. I wish things would have been better, but I don't blame her like, hey, it's your fault. You should have did.
Yeah.
No. She did the best that she could.
And she was unaware of what was going on.
But I remember one thing. My mom, this was in the 80s during the crack time, and I remember my mom was on crack. My home became a crack house. Right. And then I remember my uncle coming out to me, and he said these words. He says, no matter what happens, that's your mother. You always love her.
Right.
And that was a very noble thing.
Right.
And for that circumstance.
Right.
But you know what my psyche did? It took it and applied it to everything.
Yeah.
So now when a woman comes along who is unhealthy,
you still love her.
No, when she comes along, so you have two women, one's healthy, you have one that's unhealthy, guess which one I resonate towards? The one that's like my mom.
Right.
That's what I resonated toward. The first image of a woman I saw was her, and so you have a woman that's coming on.
It felt home.
Normal.
Felt normal.
It was natural.
It was in a very weird way safe.
Yeah.
Because that's what familiar. We know. It was familiar.
It was familiar. Chaos was familiar. So when I saw these women, I picked them. And I had a choice.
Yeah.
I was like, I could choose you. No. Hey, you come here.
You come here.
You come here. Yeah. We fight, argue. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is it. So I literally, what I did was from my childhood, I created my childhood in my relationships.
Right.
I created the same chaos that I was going through
in your home.
In my home. And so my kids ended up being you. They were me.
All over again.
So they were me. So my relationship, I had one relationship. That relationship ended. When the first relationship, domestic violence relationship I had ended, I did some math.
Okay.
I did some math. I'm not a mathematician, but I know formulas. If you put in the right formula, you get the right answer. If you mess up the formula, the answer's automatically wrong.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, hold up. So I had a bad relationship. And you know what? If I remove X, remove X, and replace with Y, then I will be okay.
All right.
Bam, I did that. I met some other guy. Hey, you come here. Let's go. Let's start a relationship. We start a relationship. Bam, everything's good. You know how when you meet somebody, everything they say, glitter comes out their mouth. They glide across the floor, all that type of stuff. Yeah. So it was like that. 3-4 months into the relationship, I introduced the chaos, the domestic violence to the relationship.
Well, what I always say, like if we don't take the time to heal, it shows up. Who you are shows up. No matter where you go.
Yeah.
If you're an alcoholic, it'll show up.
Yeah.
If you're toxic, it'll show up. If you're broke, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're in a mansion, if we're on vacation. On the moon. It will show up.
Yeah.
All right.
Mine showed up in that relationship.
And your second relationship. Showed up again.
Did the math.
Removed X.
Replaced Y.
And it showed up.
And it showed up there too. And then I remember... so my wife, my ex-wife now, she had her own set of issues.
Okay.
She didn't have my issues, but she had her own set of issues. And the reason I say that is because had she been healthy, she would have smelled me a mile away.
Of course.
And she would not have dealt with me. Of course. Her mentality was, okay, well, you know what? I see this in him. This is horrible, but I'm going to love him better, and I'm going to love him through it. I'm going to dress better. I'm going to cook better. I'm going to do all this stuff better, and he's going to change.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring value to her.
Right.
That's what she thought. So we had this crazy dynamic going. I'm this insecure, fearful. You know, I'm not going to tell you that, though.
No, of course not. Not with words.
No, exactly.
Not with words.
And if someone is...
If it's a person that's healthy, that's high level, they're going to be able to detect that in a second. But we're going to carry ourselves a different way. But our behavior, which you taught me, will speak for us.
And that's what it was. My behavior in that relationship, we stayed together, I think, like 14 years. We had kids.
14 years.
14 years.
Of chaos.
Chaos, toxicity that we thought was normal. Wow. And the things that kept us together, we had kids together. We got married. The Bible says you're not supposed to leave your partner. Yeah. Church people say stay together. Not just them, our family. All these things.
This is it.
The other thing was that one thing that really kept us together was we both grew up in broken homes.
Oh, so we didn't want to break up the family.
We didn't want to have a broken home.
We didn't want to break.
Not knowing that our home was
broken. Broken a long time ago.
It was broken with both of us in it.
Right.
So a broken home is not just being with one parent, with people splitting. A broken home is two toxic people in the same house.
Dysfunction, destructive.
So we were in that state for 14 years, and then finally it ended. You know, we had all kinds of chaos in our relationship. There was domestic violence, lying, cheating. There was everything.
Everything that comes with a dysfunctional relationship.
We had it. We had the T-shirt for that. We had the medal on the wall for that. You know, so we had all of that. And
so did I, just so you don't feel bad.
I know a lot of people listening are going, I mean, you can resonate.
You know what? But again, the purpose of this show, like I told you earlier, there's a famous quote. I might be a little bit off, but it says like jealousy and envy looks through the microscope.
Right.
But love and purity looks through the telescope. So the purpose of us is to speak broadly like that. To speak in the galactical language, which is open to the universe and not be afraid to put up barriers on truth. Because when we start speaking truth, believe it or not, people gravitate to that.
Yeah.
You know, and again, a lot of people they don't respect the language. A lot of people don't respect the language, but they don't respect it because they don't understand it.
Right. Right.
Who taught me about communication with comprehension? You did. But anyway, keep going.
We'll get to that. So the relationship deteriorated. We went our separate ways. I remember this day. I remember when my wife left and took my kids. And I was in my home, 3,500 square foot home, built from the ground up, all the upgrades, beautiful home. Now, when you have kids, you hear noises. They're running in and out, dropping stuff.
The normal,
Yeah. She hit me, he hit me, and then it was quiet. You know what I heard? For the first time, the hum of the refrigerator.
Damn.
I had never heard that. When I heard the hum of the refrigerator, broke down. I broke down. When I say break down, I broke down crying. I don't want to use the word crying because that's not strong enough. What I was doing was wailing.
Right.
That came from a soul place.
Yeah.
It came, and it wasn't the fact that she left. It was the fact of who I was.
Right.
I hated myself.
Yeah.
The more I hated myself, the worse I behaved. The worse I behaved, the more I hated myself. So
and it was a cycle.
And then from there, I remember laying in the bed crying for 2 hours, wailing, screaming, snot all over my face. Just like, what's wrong with me? Why am I here? Because I knew why she left was because of me. Right. And I thought to myself, well, damn, I'm shocked you stayed that long.
Right.
Because I'm a piece of shit.
Right.
And I'm not going to tell you that, though.
Yeah.
But that's how I felt.
Yeah.
So, laying there in the bed crying for 2 hours, it's 3 a.m. You know what came back to me? My math.
Your math.
My math came back. I was like, damn, man, what happened to my equation?
Right.
I was like, hold on. So, wait a minute.
I removed X.
I removed X. I replaced that. And it's still messed up. So, the formula must be wrong. And I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. Dominique had domestic violence in his childhood. Dominique had domestic violence in his first relationship. Dominique had domestic violence in his second relationship. Common denominator? Fucking Dominique.
Yeah.
Me.
You.
I'm the problem. And that was my aha moment. I'm like, oh shit. I'm the problem. And then I did some algebra. I was like, okay, if X plus Y equals Z minus 4 over 3, if I get into another relationship, I'm gonna have the same result.
You were being honest.
Because I'm the problem. It doesn't matter if I go to the moon. It don't matter where I go. My toxicity is going to come out.
Well, when people ask me, well, how do I always say, and I keep saying this over and over because think of, when was the last time you heard of the word sincerity? You don't hear it that much, right?
Right.
You have to be sincere about your growth. Mm-hmm. You have to be brutally honest with who you are in order for you to have a conscious evolution of your soul.
Brutal. You said brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah, brutal.
So at that moment, you were being brutally honest with yourself.
There was something in me that didn't want to be who I was.
Anymore.
I did not
want that. You were
done. I couldn't do it.
That was maxed out. That part of you was maxed out.
I could have.
Because underneath all of that, your spirit is beautiful.
Thank you. Appreciate
that.
No, but
for real.
I couldn't recognize that,
But though. you couldn't engage with it.
Couldn't see it.
Okay,
Didn't even know it was there.
So what happens after that?
So after that, I decided, okay, I need out of here. So my wife, she moved out. She's doing her thing, living her best life.
You're in a big house by yourself.
By myself. We are going through a divorce at that time. Divorce is a very ugly place. And so now the new me has to manage a divorce. The new me couldn't handle a conversation. The old me couldn't handle a conversation back in the day.
Right.
So this was a real test for me.
Yeah.
If I say I'm going to be this new person, then I have to manage.
You have
divorce.
to honor your growth.
Yeah. So what I did was I developed a personal policy.
Okay.
So I wrote down my
You wrote down
policy.
your personal policy.
Personal policy. Like we
Okay.
have policy at our jobs. You mess up, you stay in policy. What am I going to? I'm not going to yell at her. I'm not going to write crazy ass texts. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do. I said personal policy.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
when we were in, and I was like, nope. And then I had I said, I'm going to show my sons how to respect her because I couldn't show them in a relationship, but I'm going to show them now.
Okay.
And so throughout the
This sounds very reminiscent.
throughout the times of growth, what I did was I started to show that. Now, before that, after the house situation, I left the house. It was like, they can have the bank, can have the house. You can have the house in Texas. I told my job I'm resigning, and I just made the highest level of my job, working for the county of LA. And then they were like, hey, what's wrong, man? I was like, I couldn't even explain it to you. I just have to go. Right. Moved back to San Diego. Took my retirement. I don't know, had about $9,000. I lived off of that for about a year and just bare minimum and was just like, okay, I got to figure this out. And so during that year, I started going to therapy.
Okay.
Started going to therapy. When I was going to therapy, they said...
So in this whole process, you told yourself, I'm going to go see a therapist.
Yeah.
That was part of your policy.
I said, I'm already messed up and I don't know what to do. So just like when your car is messed up, you take it to a professional, you take it to a mechanic.
Yeah, you know what I always say?
What?
I say, when people are driving and their check engine light comes on, they go and they take it to but when your internal check engine light comes on, you know what I'm saying? Like people ignore the check engine light.
No.
And it goes and it goes and it goes and we get worse and worse and worse. So at this point, your check engine light, you're like, I'm gonna go.
It's been on for years. And I've been patching
and
it
it's
up.
breaking me down.
The car's shaking and smoke's coming all out the back and it pow. That was my life.
It's going down.
And I'm like, I can't drive any further.
Okay.
I need help. So I took myself, okay, what do I know? I know that I have emotional issues. Who does that? Therapists do that. I need to go see a therapist. I need a man.
How did you pick one?
I knew I needed a man. I went through 3 or 4 different ones.
You did you do your diligence?
Well, so I went to, I looked at it, looked up a couple. I'm saying, let me try this one. I tried that one. It didn't fit. Looked at it, didn't fit. And it was this guy that fit. Now, the reason he fit was because he was brutally honest.
Okay.
I needed an older male. That's what I needed at that time. I need an older man, someone that knows what it's like to be a man. Yeah. And so I needed that. And so he was that.
Someone that you could see has led by example in his life.
Yes. And he went through a lot of things himself.
Yeah, in order for him to be where he's at.
And so I trusted him. We built a good relationship.
That's huge.
I needed that. And I didn't go to therapy looking for a BS cosigner.
No.
Here's my BS. I'm going to need you to sign right there, initial right there. No, I don't want that. Tell me the truth.
I want to excavate.
Tell me the truth.
Yeah.
That's what I need. I needed a check person. Tell me the truth. And so he was that person. And so, as I was going in there, he said, hey, there's a group across town.
He was an archaeologist, and he was excavating.
That's true.
Taking you to the root of what was wrong with you.
Yeah, he was. The more we talked, I was in there for about 3.5 years. And then he talked, and he said, hey, there's a group across town. You might want to try that one. Oh, okay, let me try it. Went across town, went to the group. That group led me to another group. Hey, there's one across town over there. It's Thursday nights, $50 per. Okay, all right. They led me to another one. So I went to about 5 different places. Each place gave me a piece of what I needed for me. Everything. All of it. Here. But the key was the therapy for me. Because that therapy was diving deep into the psyche of Dominique for me to understand who I am.
Who you are.
Who I am. So I can get a PhD
So you can reconnect with the child that was happy at one point.
Yes.
Innocent. Happy. No
Forgot
dysfunction.
about him.
Forgot about him.
I didn't even know where that dude was.
No, he was gone.
He was crying the whole time.
You had to reconnect.
So when I did that, I started to change. It was very difficult. There was no dating. I couldn't date during that time because I was definitely afraid of being in a relationship because my math told me if I get into another relationship, I'm going to harm somebody else. Yeah. And I didn't want to harm anybody else. I didn't want anybody harming me, so I just needed to take that time.
You need to heal. You
1,000%.
needed to heal.
3.5 years of that was the very hardest thing I did.
3.5 years, no dating.
No.
You were in a full-blown relationship with Dom.
With Dom.
Okay.
I remember in the beginning.
And you were loyal and faithful.
In the beginning, I said, well, I need a crutch. Hey, you come here.
In the beginning.
In the beginning. And then I remember being with someone and then being with them, but not being there.
Yeah. You know what? I had something similar like that. It, to me, it always felt like I was betraying my growth.
Yes. That's what happened.
I felt like I'm betraying my growth because I wasn't in. So I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Spent a significant amount of time
by
myself. In a relationship with Reyes. Excavating Reyes. So you go to 3.5 years. That's a significant amount of time for you to reassess and reassemble and come out victorious.
I didn't know how I was going to come out. I just knew I couldn't be the same. And
one of the things, and right here, if we could just pause that for a second, and this is where we can give people hope.
Yeah.
And tell them, see, the analogy that I always use is, I want to go to the galaxy, right? In order for me to get to the galaxy where there is no noise, where there is no problems, where everything is tranquility, where you're just relaxed, right? First, you got to understand the concept of what you need to do to get there.
Right.
So you have to put in the work because you can't cheat growth.
Right.
You can't cheat growth. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't cheat.
Yeah.
So I always use the analogy like this. In order for me to get, here's the spaceship and there's the galaxy.
Yeah.
I got to put in the work for me to be able to get the fuel to go here.
Yeah.
Only the work allows you to get closer.
Yeah.
And then you work closer and you can see the spaceship.
Yeah.
Then you give yourself more nutrients and you get to the spaceship. Yeah. And then you get to the spaceship, right? But remember, the only thing that allows you to get close to the spaceship is your growth.
Yeah.
The purity in your growth, because if there's no purity, you're cheating yourself.
Yeah.
You can't grow if you're cheating.
Yeah.
So once you get in the spaceship, what happens before you get to outer space? You got to go through the atmosphere, right? So what's in the atmosphere? Turbulence, right? Yeah. But what gets you through the turbulence is all the work you put in with purity to get you to the galaxy.
Yeah.
So when you understand that concept, you understand what? The 3.5 years that you put in, the years that I put in, it's being honest about making yourself a better you.
Yeah.
So to someone that is listening right now that is in despair, the battle and the work is between you and you.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
No car, no money, no house, no woman,
no spouse,
nothing.
Nope.
The battle is between you and you. So 3.5 years go by. What happens at that point?
3.5 years go by. I'm done with counseling. I don't want to talk anymore. Now, when I went to counseling, I wasn't the type that you had to pull the information out. I was the type to say, okay, Dom, that's enough. You let other people talk. That was me, because I was hungry to be a new person. I was hungry to be who I was supposed to be. But I didn't know it.
Yeah.
But there was a hunger in me that I just couldn't. I couldn't explain.
That was preparation for you, and you didn't know it.
I didn't know. I had no idea.
You went on a full-blown self-examination.
And I wasn't afraid of it anymore.
No, of course not.
I wasn't afraid.
That's because you were ready.
The fear.
There was no such thing.
No.
There is no such thing as fear when you are ready to surrender to your growth.
Yeah, that's true.
You surrender to anything, bro. There's no fear, because in order for you to surrender, that means you're all in.
If there was a fear, it was a fear of me being the same person.
Right.
That was the only thing that I was like, oh, hell no.
Which that fueled you.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be that person, but I knew I was supposed to be somebody else. 3.5 years, I'm done with that. Then I'm thinking, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to put this in this little box, put it under the bed. I'm never going to talk about this again. I'm done with this chapter of my life. Yeah, that was my plan. That was my plan.
Okay, so you're about to go through another chapter right now.
Universe had a whole other plan.
Yeah.
And then this idea kept hitting me as I'm laying in my bed. You need to go speak about this.
Right.
What the hell?
How am I going to go talk about this?
I'm like, is the TV on? Like, what the hell is this, man? Anyways, I'm going. So that idea stayed on me for about 2 years.
So you're talking already 5.5 years later.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
5.5 years later. It's a journey with no destination.
True. I heard it, and then finally I said, fine. Universe, I'll do it. Fine. You want me to do this? I'll do it. Called the San Diego Domestic Violence Council. Told them my story. I was like, I know this is awkward. You're probably not used to hearing from somebody like me, but I don't know what I'm doing, but here's my story. And they said, okay, all right, hold on. They said, oh, let me tell such and such. They told such and such. They said, you know what? I think we got a couple people that want to hear your story. Oh, damn, okay. Come down here on Thursday. Oh, okay, cool. Went down there on Thursday, expecting it to be a room like this, few people in there. I walk in that room to share this stuff for the first time. There's 350 people in that room. 300. Chief of police was there. Chief of probation was there. City councilman was there. They had some type of award ceremony before, and they just stayed. I was like, oh, hell no. I remember walking to the door, and I looked around. I was like, hell no. I'm not doing this. Lo and behold, I found myself standing in front of that crowd. Standing in front of that crowd, and I told my story. I remember my voice was trembling. My hands were shaking. I was sweating. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I remember thinking I was coming to the end of my presentation. And I was like, okay, there's a door. I'm a beeline to that door. As soon as I get out, I'm done. I'm out of here. So I already had my route planned out. Go around that chair. Bam, I'm out. I get done. Have a great day. Bam. Try to execute my plan.
Bam.
Bam. A line forms. What the what is this? Right. What do you mean? Oh, hell no. What am I going to, I don't know what to say to these people. This old lady, she's probably about 80, 75, 80, and she walks up to me and she's crying. I said to myself, see, I knew I shouldn't have did this. Right. I knew I shouldn't have did this.
Your perspective was...
I messed it all up. And then so she grabs my hand and she says to me, she says, thank you. Bloop, bloop, what are you thanking me for? And she says, my husband who's now passed away, he was extremely abusive. And she says, I never heard a man say I'm sorry. And she says, I took that for me.
Wow.
Blew my mind. And that moment is when I realized, okay, Dominic, this is bigger than you. Yeah. You think you're coming. I wasn't going there to talk to her. I was going there to talk to me. Yeah. I needed people like me. Yeah. But it wasn't. So from there.
You understood the power of what was happening.
Man, at that moment.
I
was not supposed to reach a victim.
Yeah.
No. No, not me.
Right.
But it touched her. And from that moment, I just kept showing up. I remember I had my day job. I had to sneak away. I gave a bunch of excuses. Hey, I got to do this. I got to do that to go do an event. And then rush back to work because I still had a little bit of shame. And I didn't want to tell anybody because I felt like if I told them, I'm going to lose my job, what I'm doing. Right. So I would sneak away. And the more and more I did it, the bigger it became. Until one day someone from the military said, hey, we think we might want to have our soldiers or Marines listen to what you have to say. Oh, cool. All right, let's do it. So next thing you know, I'm on a Marine base. I'm talking to Marine. The first Marine event I did was 8 Marines. 8 Marines.
The first time.
First time was 8 Marines. Because I asked the lady, I was like, was this mandatory or voluntary? She was like, oh, it's voluntary. I was like, oh shit, no, you can't do that. You can't make DV voluntary. They're not coming. I wouldn't go if it was voluntary. So the next time, 2 years later, she called me back. She said, I got another event for you. 7,500 Marines.
Ooh.
That type of math, I'm not that good at math, though.
Yeah.
to multiply like that.
Right,
and so it went from 8 to 7,500. And then from there, from that event, one of the bases heard about me, said, hey, come speak to this at this base. I went to speak at that base, and I kept speaking there a few times. And the lady said, have you thought about working here? I was like, no, but let's talk about it. So then I went from 7,500 to 40,000.
Wow.
Now I'm on a base with 40,000 Marines that I do briefs with. I work with them. I work with them through domestic violence. I work with those that have been convicted of domestic violence to help them realize what they're doing and make the changes.
That's beautiful, man.
And so that's one thing that I do.
Okay.
So, and in between that time and my growth, I started, this my business it's called Inspire Perspective, and I started my business where I do speaking events. And so I've spoken in Australia. I went to Brisbane in 2018 to speak there. I've spoken at Fort Hood base in Texas, Joint Base Lewis McChord, the Army base up in Seattle, Camp Pendleton, 32nd Street, man, all of these different places. So I do a lot of Marine and civilian work. I was keynote speaker for California Partnership to End Domestic Violence this past year. So keynote speaker on a lot of different levels. Now, this is not, oh, hey, Dom's the great. No, that's not what I'm talking about. It's about the message of change.
Yes.
That's what this is about.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, bro, you grabbed your despair and you turned it into something good. Yeah. The power of purity is beyond a lot of people's comprehension. Mm-hmm. Because if I've learned anything from my despair is that if we don't do anything, things stay the same.
That's gonna happen. Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
once in a while I go down to the neighborhood where I grew up because the taco shop's really good right there, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I see people I grew up with in the corner wearing the same pants, the same shirt, with the same bag, with the same 40 ounce, only now they're in their 40s.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and, you know, like my fan base knows a destructive artist, you know. So because I have a platform and because I have a voice, I am going to show them that I am proof that we can all change.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't cheat your growth.
Yeah. I like
You
that.
can't cheat
I like that.
purity. You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even getting deeper into it, you know, when we really learn how to identify with our mind and who we are, like up here, it goes beyond right and wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
There's you know, everything is perception.
Yeah.
Things are objects.
Yeah.
You know, names are just
Right.
there to identify you. A face is there to recognize you. But we're ageless. We're limitless.
Right.
We're timeless.
Right.
You know, and for me to, even when I met you, bro, like when I met you, like it was a time of despair for me.
Yeah.
You know, and we started having a conversation and I was completely out of control.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember you sitting down with me and telling me, like, bro, like, you need to remember who you are. You need to remember, look at all these things you've done. But again, when you're in despair, it doesn't matter what's going on. Like, unless you're ready to be brutally honest with yourself instead, because remember the time, the time, the concept of time.
Yeah.
You know, I said this before, there's the chronological time, which is hours and minutes.
Right.
And then there's the psychological time,
Right.
which is moments and memories.
Yeah.
So when you're in psychological time, you're in the psychological prison. Right? So if you're in the psychological prison, living in the past and everything you did wrong, or living in the future of everything you're going to do wrong, you're robbing yourself of the present moment.
Yeah.
So if you're not in the present moment, it's impossible to experience bliss.
Man.
Absolutely impossible.
Yeah.
So you helped me beyond anything I could ever. I've told you in private.
Yeah.
But you know, man, you are a great mentor. You're a great brother. You're a great friend, and you're absolutely pure in everything that you do. You know, I've used a lot of the things that you have taught me in my growth. I've implemented your teachings in my growth to be a better me. But that's because it came from a pure place. Now, if you did that for me, and I've done that for someone, and you've done it for someone, it's going to continue to go.
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
That's it.
And I always say, if we want to live in a world of peace, we need more peaceful people.
Yes. Yes.
We need to engage with serenity and with growth effortlessly.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
When I spoke to you, you were open. You didn't resist anything.
Right.
Whatever I said to you, you grabbed it. It was like you had, and that's what I recognized in you. You had a hunger.
Yeah.
You didn't know what to do, but you knew you didn't want to be that.
Right.
I remember that. I'll never forget that. I was like, damn, this cat is hungry. And I recognize that.
Right.
Like, I know that place.
Well, when I met you, it was my moment of your refrigerator moment.
Yeah. Okay.
When I met you, that was my moment.
Okay.
And I remember telling you, hey, I'm going to get out of this.
Yeah.
Watch me.
Yeah.
I said, I'm done.
Yeah, I remember.
I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then you saw me.
He was gone.
I was like, wham. But I said, I'm leaving this crib.
Yep.
I'm leaving this crib. I'm leaving everything in it. I'm going to go get a new crib. I'm going to go be a brand new me. I'm going to go nurture myself, and I'm going to honor my growth. Mm-hmm. And then you saw me do it. Mm-hmm. Then I invited you to my new crib.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
And then we sat in the new crib.
I remember.
And then I got another crib.
I remember.
And then I got another crib. And then I was just growing and growing and growing. But bro, look, let's be honest. Throughout that growth, that's why I would say it remains the journey.
Yeah.
There's never a destination.
Oh, yeah.
You never get to a place where you're like, I know everything.
Yeah. No.
You know what I'm saying? Because throughout that time, we still have breakfast and lunch, and I still take it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, man, like, I applaud you, bro.
Yeah.
I applaud you to the highest level of who you are, just as a humanitarian, because that's what you are. You know what I'm saying? You're helping people be better. You're helping people be better. You are participating, I am participating in people's lives to help them escape and liberate them from despair.
Yeah. That's important.
That's very important.
That's important because this whole life that we live is it's the Matrix. You know, it's a lie in a lot of ways.
It is
and
a lie.
We cover up with all type of things, relationship, alcohol, drugs, all type of stuff.
That is the greatest thing you could have said right now, because let's talk about that.
Okay.
Look, if we go to the forest right now, we're driving by where there's deer.
Yeah.
And a deer sees us. Wham! It's gonna run right into the woods, right?
Yeah.
Well, humans can run into the woods physically.
Yeah.
But they run into the woods internally, right? Yeah. They confine themselves.
Yeah.
And then they decorate their confinement.
Right.
With what? Cologne, perfume, money, houses, right?
Yeah.
But inside, they're stuck in the woods, and they live a fallacy. They live this artificial. Remember the book you gave me, Hard on Break?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
What does he say? He says, "Do you want to be with somebody that participates in your purpose and you participate in their purpose and create symbiosis, or do you want somebody to post fucking pictures on Instagram with?" You know, when you gave me that book, you gave it to me highlighted. It had points in there. I read the book twice. That book was so deep that dude is young.
Yeah, he is.
He went as far as saying, like, people don't even know how to grow vegetables. People don't even know how to go and hunt for themselves anymore. What would happen if all the Vons and Ralphs and Albertsons went out of business? How would you eat?
We wouldn't. A lot of us would starve.
Yeah, so now look at that. All these people that think that all these a mansion is expensive. I need to work for that. A car, a chain. How come growth isn't expensive in their book?
It's growth is not the.
And it's free, by the way.
Yeah, free 99. Yep.
It's
free 99. Free 99. That's all you got to pay. One payment of free 99.
Free 99.
The growth is something that's very hard to do because in order for me to grow, I have to look inward and not outward. Everything else you're talking about is external, outward. And so we live in a society, in a world that says the outward matters and the inward doesn't matter. And for me in this journey, I've learned, you know this as well, it's not that stuff, it comes and goes.
Absolutely.
The most important part is your growth, your journey, getting to your purpose. Yeah. And I see you in purpose. And you know, this journey with you, walking with you, watching you, you know, close, watching you from afar is just watching you walk in purpose. You know, you're different. You're not the same cat I met. No. You're not by no stretch of the word are you the same cat that I met. No. And you had it in you, you know, just like I did, but I just didn't know how to access it. And when growth happened, that's how I accessed it. But that growth happens. You said you can't cheat growth. You can't cheat growth. That means you have to put in the hard, painful work. There's tears that come with this.
Oh, yeah.
There's blood, sweat, and tears that come with this. But on the other side of it, bro,
oh
my God, the peace.
Yeah, bro. I always say, like, you don't understand. It's beyond any monetary gain. You know these defense mechanisms that people put up. You know, like repression, right? It's anything that is going to be a threat to your truth. It'll cancel the consciousness of it.
Yeah,
it won't allow you to actually know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Forgetting things.
Yeah. Now, let's be honest. If people understood the other side of it, the whole world would be a better place.
The world would probably spin the opposite direction.
There's people that will save up to go get surgery, that will save up to go put a down payment in their car and put in all that work Well, imagine if they put that same energy into making themselves better internally. Because everything else comes after that. I see what you're driving.
I wasn't trying to get
I
that.
know that, but that's my point. Hey, the situation with my kids.
Yeah.
You remember where I was with that?
I remember
at that time, and how mad I was, and how loud I was.
Yes.
And when I surrendered to it and I just became better, they landed on my lap.
Yeah. You didn't have to go do anything.
I didn't have to do anything.
You didn't have to fight.
You have to do anything. When you surrender to your growth, everything that you are yearning for, bro, you just got to stop.
That's power. And you are a rebel. I'm a rebel. In order to do growth in this world, it takes a revolutionary. You have to be it's a revolutionary act to grow because that's going against what the flow of society says to do. Again, society says outward. We're saying inward. Yeah. Everything that you are dealing with in your life that is a struggle, that's a problem that you don't know how to deal with, the answer starts inward. If your relationships are a mess, it starts with you. If your job, it starts with you. Your life, your health, everything starts with you. Yeah. And a lot of times, it was convenient for me in my worst days to blame my wife.
Of course.
It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you.
Of course.
But you know what? That mirror conversation is what I needed.
That's a big part of accountability. People don't want to engage with accountability.
Why?
That's because they have to look at themselves for what they are.
Yeah.
How else can you become a better you if you won't be able to face who you are? You can't. James Allen, as a man thinketh says, he says, we are mind builders. Yeah. And our thoughts are the bricks.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you have rotten bricks, unpured bricks, you're going to have a rotten mind with rotten thoughts and rotten words and rotten feelings and a rotten environment with a rotten group.
Just a rotten life.
And a rotten life. But if you have pure thoughts, productive thoughts that you honor, it manifests into your life. Man. I can't even imagine me being who I was when I met you.
Oh, hell no. Yeah.
People will go into cardiac arrest, the people in my life now. Yeah. Because everything else filters out.
You can't go back.
You can't. You can't.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you grow past something, you can visit. You can visit back. You can actually, you can go back, but there's something in you that says, I don't belong here. Yeah. I don't belong here. There's times where I would go back mentally and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, why am I here?
Psychological time.
Yeah, why am I here?
Psychological prison is
don't belong
it's like
here.
A magnet that's trying to air you back. Remember the analogy I used about the galaxy? It's the same analogy that you told me once about the hyenas and the eagles.
Okay. Explain that.
No, you explain it.
So this guy, I said you were an eagle. But an eagle was flying too low, messing around with the hyenas. I was like, what are you doing down there messing with the hyenas? Yeah. The eagle soars high. But it's like it's lonely up there. Because I need some company. And I know the hyenas are down here. The hyenas are dangerous. Yeah. Hyenas mess up your wings. Hyenas will bite your wings. They will eat you. They will take your life. Yeah. But they're company. Yeah. So the eagle was flying from up here down for company. And we had a conversation about that. And I said, well, this part of your journey, it's supposed to be lonely. Because the higher you go, the less the less beings are up there, because this is a revolutionary act.
So when you spot somebody up there,
you know
they're just like you.
You know
they put in the work like you.
Know. But you can now listen. When you're flying high by yourself, and people wonder like, "Oh, there's no people." Don't worry, the universe will bring that around. Yeah. There's timing for everything. Yeah, everything. So, but you have to solidify your wings, solidify your plan. Don't worry, someone else will fly. You'll be like, "Hey, where are you going?" Oh, I'm going over here. You want to go too? Yeah. And then, but again, the lonely days, loneliness is a part of the growth. There is a part of, you said being by yourself. I've spent a significant amount of time by myself. I still do. On purpose. Yeah. On purpose. I need to just be with my own energy. Yeah. And when you are doing that, it's very, very convenient, and it's very tempting as an eagle to go down and hang with the hyenas, even though I know that they could kill me. It's it's a powerful thing. But if I stay the course up here.
If you honor.
Yeah. Oh.
If you honor.
Now think about this. The time that I'm taking to go down for the hyenas, I could be missing.
Yeah.
Another eagle flying by. I didn't see the eagle because I was down here entangled in some garbage, with a hyena. and they're flying by. They're like, oh, there's nobody up here. And then I come back up and like, there's nobody up here. We missed each other.
Yeah.
Because I went down. So that's the hyena.
Yeah. No, but story. Hey, but it's true though.
It is. Yeah.
But but again, the power of that is that can't be the focus. Finding someone doing this. The focus has to be you. The focus has to be you being the best you.
Say it again.
And again, by that time, you meet somebody, you run into somebody.
Yeah.
You're able to, like we said about identifying.
Yeah.
You're able to see the red flags and respect.
Whoa. Easier. Yeah.
Whoa.
Slow down.
Whoa. Let me make a Yui in the lag.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And get back to the road.
Yeah.
Because look, if we don't do that.
Yeah.
And this is the truth.
Yeah.
It becomes. And this is proven. Becomes a different person with a different name, with a different face, and it's the same shit.
Person over and over.
Over and over and over.
That part that you said, what you just said, is also another reality of growth. You are going to come across the people that are you're either going to evolve or repeat.
Yes.
They're going to come.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to come. The people are going to come because when people start seeing your growth, you know what they say? Oh my gosh, I like this.
Yeah.
But I'm toxic. I like it for what you can do for me.
Yeah.
Parasitic.
Yeah.
Parasites are gonna come to you when they see you.
Garbage eaters.
Your blood is good. I need it. Yeah, I want what you got, but I can't provide anything for you. So I'm just gonna suck you dry, and then I'm gonna take all that growth away from you, and eventually get you back to where you were before.
Well, the way that I see that is differently.
Speak on it.
I look at it like this: when we are nurturing ourselves, we respect the growth so much. That we create our own universe now. Now there's the people that you allow in your universe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like me, what I say now is, I don't have any problems.
Right.
I don't have a parasitical person in my.
Right.
That's because I'm unavailable.
Right.
I'm unavailable to parasitical people that are gonna be unproductive in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always say, I've been saying this recently. Whoever you see me with. I love that person with all my heart, and that person loves me with all my heart, with all their heart.
You know it's good.
It's good because we're the same.
Yeah.
Now, that's part of creating the universe.
Right.
You have to create an environment of people that are productive and positive and healthy, and that the purpose is first.
Yeah.
Because when we make ourselves available to the hyenas, when we make ourselves available to the garbage, we know the result. So that's part of honoring the growth.
Yeah.
The honor takes discipline.
Yeah.
The honor takes sincerity.
All of it.
So when you go there,
you're
in the stateless state.
And you're talking about the advanced stage of growth.
The advanced.
See, you're advanced.
Stage.
See, that's
so are you.
Yeah. So now in the early stages, when I don't know this, when I don't know all of this, and then a hyena comes up and say, "Let's hang out." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess." I mean, all right. And then I still have now things that I'm learning.
Yeah.
And the more I learn, I'm like, "Oh shoot,
there.
wait a minute, I can't do this anymore." I appreciate you, and it's not, when I say hyena, I want to make sure I'm clarifying this. These are just analogies, and we don't look. At people, we don't look at people less than as we don't look at. There are people that are just at different stages in their journey, and when I meet someone, it's like, okay, well where you are on your journey is not in alignment where I'm with mine.
Exactly.
And I wish you well. If I can help you in any type of way.
But you see,
cool.
The words that you said, because don't underestimate the power of our free will. It comes with a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
So people say words.
Yeah.
They don't honor those words.
Yeah.
To be able to say, hey, we're not in the same frequency.
Yeah.
I need to remove myself from you. And actually do it and honor it.
Yeah.
That's the reward.
That's
the reward.
That is.
Because, like you said, the advanced level of growth is here. But when you're still growing and you're here and you run into those situations, because I always say that problems are our messages.
That's a good one.
I always say that when I was in that stage.
That's a whole show right there.
Yeah, we're here, right?
Yeah, just go ahead.
So
Sorry.
when I was in that stage, it was my internal spirit. I felt like I was betraying my growth.
Right.
And I didn't like the way it felt.
But you had to feel it to know it.
You had to feel it to know it, to respect it, and say, "Hey, whoa!
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like this,
Yeah.
because I have something good here,
Yeah.
and I can feel it. I can feel it. I don't even need the. It doesn't need. It doesn't. What does growth have? It has no face.
Yeah.
Has no perfume. You just feel it.
Feel it. You had something more powerful than sex, than money, than fame, than status.
Yes.
It was more, and you said, and I said the same thing. No, I'm good over here. Y'all go ahead.
You go do that.
Yeah, y'all go ahead. And no judgment. I have I wish you well. Good vibes on you. I hope everything. But this over here, and it's gotten me to a place where I consider everything I consider in my life at this point is like I have to check in with my purpose.
Of course.
Hey, purpose. Is this
okay?
Yeah. No? Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah, I can't.
For sure.
Because you can't if you take me away from that.
Of course, that means you're honoring it.
Yeah.
I always say, like, hey, this doesn't feel good for my spirit.
Yeah, I like that.
It doesn't feel good for my spirit.
I like that.
But, and that being said, because we still are people.
Yeah.
And we have conviction. And we love.
True.
We've loved.
True.
I had to be courageous and honest with myself to be absolutely pure about my growth and not allow anyone to be a threat to my growth. Because if you're a threat to my growth, you're a threat to my children.
Yeah.
You're a threat to my purpose.
Yeah.
You're a threat to my ambition
Everything.
to be the best me.
Everything.
And somebody that loves you should never be a threat to your growth.
Man, again, it's another show. Write that down. That's another show. Somebody that is a threat.
Yeah.
That should never be.
No.
Because then again, that's coming in the parasitic realm. Because if you see my purpose, like you know what my purpose is.
Yes.
You didn't come into my life to mess me up.
No.
You didn't come to try to get anything,
No.
to try to, manipulate or try to, you came in, when you speak about purity from me, bro, there was purity from you. There was purity between us.
Yes.
And that's what made this work because there was no agenda.
No.
I don't have an agenda. No. I just want, if you say you want better, hey, let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. But people will come into your life and try to latch onto that. But like you said, if you're creating, when you understand the power of the environment that you create, it's a whole different world.
Yeah, of course.
My life has gotten to a place where people, my family members are like, hey, well, you need to get married or you need to do this or you need to, no. Yeah. That will happen when it happens.
Yeah.
Now, in the meantime, or are you going to buy a house? Are you going to do, okay, yeah. Right. I'm doing here's what I do. I work on base with Marines daily. I do life coaching. When I get off work, I have
me still
for whoever, life coaching for him, life coaching for anybody. I do my speaking events. I just had a speaking event last Tuesday with the California Partnership Domestic Violence with the Central Valley. Did one with them, and then on top of that, I teach domestic violence class for guys that are convicted of domestic violence Wednesday nights.
That's beautiful.
So that's 4 different areas that I'm doing.
Yeah,
I don't have time for I don't now. Now the thing that it's a gift and a curse because what I do. Did you see Mandalorian? You guys watch? Okay, for those that watch Mandalorian, the little Yoda, little green dude. Whenever he used his power, he immediately collapsed out.
Yeah, it drained him.
That's me. Yeah. When I use my power, man, and I love it. I'm into it. But then after I'm done, I have to recover.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time by myself just recovering. And so...
that's one of the things you told me once.
Mm-hmm. What?
I don't know if you remember this, but you said, hey, bro, why don't you leave all that alone and just go recover? You said, why don't you just be with yourself and recover? Spend some time by yourself in your house.
Yeah.
Here's a book.
I do remember. I remember why I said that too.
I remember I would even call you and be like, hey, bro, should I go do this? I'm doing good. You're like, nope.
Yeah.
Don't go do that.
Nope.
Don't go do that. Stay on your purpose.
Yeah.
And look, man.
By yourself.
That was the key. By yourself.
You wanted to add some pieces.
I know I told you this many times, but I just want to tell you, bro. You changed my life. you did something beautiful for me. And I hope that you can see the power of who you are, bro. You know, you made me a better man, bro. You made me a better man. You made me a better spirit. You made me a better man, and you taught me how to respect the definition of honor, bro. And I thank you for that, broski. You know, for real, bro.
I appreciate you. I appreciate watching you, because whether you know it or not, you inspire me. When I see you, I see this. I'm like, wow, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Who would have thought?
Yeah,
Who would have thought? You and me.
Yeah, right. That's crazy. We were in the studio doing albums.
We met.
Yeah. I went to the studio, did an album. No podcast. No, none of that. We were just like, I would just go and we'd make the beat and I would say, come on, I'm going to the studio.
Let's go.
I didn't even have a car, bro.
Let's go.
You know what I mean?
There was a lot that
bro.
Both of us were on that.
Yeah, it was like,
oh man.
Man, bro. But look, the purpose of the show is being victorious through some despair.
Yeah.
Thank God right now, bro, we are victorious in our life from our despair.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And again, I'm not saying as a trophy.
No.
I'm saying we're mentally healthy.
Evolved.
We have evolved.
Yes.
We have evolved. We have cleansed.
Yeah.
We have done the self-examination.
Yeah.
We have mentally purged, emotionally purged. And, you know, it's important that we have these type of conversations.
Yeah.
And I know that this is going to be a great show. I know that people are going to love the purpose and the message and the truth and the purity of this conversation.
It already is a great show. I want you to know that right now, sir. It already is. It was a great show when the vision first came up.
Thank you.
Because you know why it's a great show? Because it's truth.
Yeah.
Anywhere that's speaking truth in a world full of lies is automatically great. And so the people that are listening, the fan base that you have, everybody gets a treat. They get a treat. This is a treat. You don't get this from many rappers. You don't get this.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to be trying to go backwards, man.
Nah.
You're supposed to go backwards to your 20s.
Yeah.
Where you going? You're not going to the future. You went to a whole different world, bro.
Yeah. And you know, man, I appreciate that. And you know, again, never allow the message that I would say is whether you realize it or not. You know, you taught me that. You taught me not to allow anyone to be a threat to your growth. Mm-hmm. You know, it may be somebody you thought loved you. It may be somebody you thought that was down with you for eternity. If anybody is a threat to your growth, they're a threat to your purpose.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. That is unacceptable.
Not going to my grave without living my purpose. When I go to my grave, it's like that towel you wring out.
Yeah.
Nothing left.
Nothing.
I
gave it all.
That's how I look at this.
Yeah.
And I see you doing that. So I appreciate you.
And I appreciate you, man. And I know we could do 100 shows, bro. But, thank you for stopping by.
Hey.
And I appreciate you. I love you, broski. And thank you, bro.
Hey, appreciate you, man. I love you, too. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man.
Extremely proud of you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Extremely proud of you.
The Telescope Room, y'all. Dom.